Yellow Brick Cinema is a faceless music channel on YouTube. Now today those are a dime a dozen, and let's be honest, some of them aren't exactly reputable. But YBC, on the other hand, is one of the OGs. Been on the platform for over a dozen years, over 6 million subscribers, billions of plays, and we do it clean. So here's the question. With these core updates that Google and YouTube have been rolling out, searching for greater authenticity, are we getting crushed, or are we doing okay? Well, the answer is somewhere in between. So in this video, we're going to give you a peek behind the curtain and show you a little bit of what we do to make sure that we walk the tightrope of delivering authentic, original content multiple times a day in a genre that rewards you for being as deliberately boring as possible to help people get to sleep and relax. It's an interesting challenge, but we've successfully navigated it. And hopefully you'll find something in this video that helps you on your quest to stay on the right side of YouTube's terms of service. For us, this discussion really starts not with the most recent core update in 2025, but actually with two other core updates back in 2024. One in August, another one in October. I'll put up a graph here to illustrate what we're talking about. These are our views in 2024. Now, take a look at what happened when the August core update was implemented. Our live stream numbers cratered, and our VOD numbers started climbing. Now, we've been at this a long time. We know that audience tastes change. We know that different factors can come into play, but we didn't change a single variable. Everything was humming along clockwork. And this is too sharp and too abrupt to be natural. This is artificially imposed. Now, we don't think this was done with any malice. We think it's an unintended consequence of the core updates that happened in August and again in October as part of this search for greater authenticity. It changed the parameters that YouTube uses in terms of which content it's going to recommend. So we tried to figure out, well, why are our VODs now suddenly being recommended much more than our live streams? We have a theory. We don't know if it's correct. And we're curious to get your feedback to see what you think and if you've had similar thoughts. We believe it's tied to the introduction of AI large language model technology into the algorithm. Think about it. An AI lacks human intuition, so it would look at a live stream as an incomplete product. Thus, it's not as easy for it to examine it in totality and determine who should it recommend it to. Whereas a VOD is a complete product. It can look at it and immediately go, yes, okay, I know what this is, it's done, there aren't any future unforeseen elements that are going to be introduced, I can push it out there. We think this is why our VODs started going up, because we track YouTube search daily across multiple long-tail keywords. So we're searching, relaxing music, sleep music, meditation music, all the usual primary keywords that you put in your SEO tags. But we also go deeper than that. And we saw practically overnight, YouTube search and YouTube recommendations started recommending our VODs instead of our live streams. Now that's forced us to change how we do business. We'd be lying if we said it hadn't affected our revenue. It has most definitely affected our revenue. We were launching, upwards of 60 live streams a day. Now we do about a third of that. And in exchange, we're launching way more VODs because that's what YouTube is now recommending. We're not entirely sure why, but that's what it is. And yeah, it's hurt us. But we have the benefit of being a veteran player in this game. We have a big audience that gives us a bit of a cushion. There are smaller channels that are legitimate that are really struggling right now. We know. We've been talking with them. And so the first step in trying to triage what the heck is going on is to do exactly what we're doing now. Compare notes, see what everyone else is seeing, and come up with strategies that work for us to grow our channels and stay monetized and stay on the right side of the terms of service in a landscape that's changing very, very quickly. So leave your comments below because we want to have a two-way dialogue with you. We've been affected. Chances are pretty good you've been affected. Let's talk. Let's figure out a way through this. Let's start with what we don't do. We don't use AI music. We tried a few times. The results are the same every time. Doesn't work. We get consistently lower results with AI music than we do with human composed music. And frankly, that's not much of a surprise. An AI does not have the ability to understand the nuance and the complexities that go into creating what is ostensibly music designed to put someone to sleep. It's actually very, very hard to get that right. And I don't see that changing anytime soon, quite honestly. So, in terms of being on the right side of things, we think it's the right call to stay with human composed music. But there's also a pragmatic part to this as well. If you go down the road of using AI music, which we think a lot of the newer channels in this space are doing, because it saves on time and money, you can do that, but you're gonna sound like everyone else doing exactly the same thing. And that's not how you build up brand loyalty. You don't build a brand by sounding exactly like everyone else, looking exactly the same as everyone else. You build brand loyalty by being the sound and the look that everyone else is trying to copy. If you take a look at the really big, authentic channels in the relaxing music space on YouTube, Peter Helland, Tim Janis, Yellow Brick Cinema, Simply Hypnotic, they're all wildly different. They look different, they sound different. There's no mistaking the videos from each of these individual channels. And if there's one thing that we can recommend above all else, find your voice, find your sound, find your look, and own it. It's a longer, harder mountain to climb. Believe me, we know. But we can also tell you point blank that it does pay off, especially at times like this, when Google and YouTube are cracking down on the AI slop extravaganza that's been exploding on the platform. Now, there is an area where we think the usage of AI is at least partially justifiable. Visuals. From our perspective, there isn't that big of a difference between stock imagery and AI imagery, particularly since, and your mileage might vary, but we've found consistently when we poll our audience, half of them aren't even paying attention to the visuals, which by extension means that statistically speaking, half of the people who click through onto this video and are listening to it right now aren't even paying attention to what's happening on screen. Now then, the reason why this is important is we believe it's not enough to just slap an AI image on a music track and call it a day, particularly with what Google and YouTube are signaling right now with the need for greater creativity, greater originality. You have to do the work. You have to put the human element back into what you're creating. So to prove this, I'm actually going to show you one of my composite animations and show you the workflow that I use to create a looping video that becomes part of a VOD or a live stream on Yellow Brick Cinema. Well, that's it for this video. We hope you found it informative and insightful so that it'll help you grow your own channel this year. Because you know what? We're all in the same boat, aren't we? We certainly all have the same goal, to grow our businesses here on YouTube by entertaining people, providing a public service. Let's make 2025 a good year. So, until next time, take care.